My name is Carlos Estrada. Welcome to Tuesday Night Chaos, presented by the fans of pro wrestling. My name is Carlos. So let's get off to a good start. I'm joined today with my co-hosts Heather and John. How are you guys doing today? This is what happens when you try to multitask, people. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Well, I'm doing much better now that I know it's not just me who can get tongue-tied on opening podcasts. Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome. Sound like I'm on Groundhog Day. We're sorry. We this is around Tuesday, so in hopes again put up positive vibes. We don't know what to do with ourselves because we were just blown away with Monday Night Raw yesterday. So we're just all hyped about that and couldn't sleep because we're just so excited by all the stories going into Payback, and that's why we kind of sound befuddled right now, right, guys?
I'm like that little kid that had nothing but Kool-Aid and a chocolate bar, just running with pure energy, and then finally dropping dead.
Right. That's what I thought right now. Like, oh, okay, the 2 hours of sleep and the coffee's not doing the job anymore, right? Time to go. So with that said, so this is our night that we talk about AEW programming. I thought overall for the week, I thought AEW hit it out of the park. I thought Dynamite was good. I thought Rampage was good as well. And I also thought Collision was really, really well. What did you guys think of the programming from what you guys got to see? Heather, go first.
From what I got to see, I thought it was pretty good. To be honest, I really didn't get to pay attention to a lot of it, but what I did see was the main show I really did get to pay attention to was Collision, of course, because it was on Saturday, and that was really a time I got to sit down and really watch something. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
John?
First, I want to say thank you to everybody that came and joined us last night in the post WWE Raw space. That was a very fun space with everyone of you participating, and we hope to keep doing more with you in the future. But this week, for AEW, I definitely have to say that WWE should be taking notes on what you really should be doing on your programming, especially when you're a company that's running monthly, sometimes more than once monthly PLEs. I mean, we got AEW that's doing back to back. We're starting with All In and then going all out the weekend after. Is that correct?
Yep, 1 week.
I mean, here we're getting the build. We're starting to see some build, not just with one, but 2 different cards in a 1 week period. The All In is definitely heating up, and they're already starting to build the All Out. So I really hope that, that AEW knocks something that's really hard to do, having back-to-back pay-per-view cards, keep the interest, but knock them both out of the park.
I agree. I think this is a good time for AEW, and again, I think they're in a win-win situation. I really don't see how they can go wrong. I mean, they have such a talented roster. It's like they can just put out banger after banger. And again, I'm excited for that. I thought they did a good job this week. And for me, it was like, I think on Rampage, I got Brian Cage versus Darby Allin. And then I forget who the other, then you had, who was the other match? I forget. Aussie Open fought somebody, they fought the Outrunners. And there was another match that was really good too. I can't think of what it was. Oh, it was Johnny TV versus Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, yep.
Yeah, and I'm like, and so again, when you're getting that kind of match on a Friday, and then Soraya and then and Sky Blue, it's like to me, it was a win-win. And again, I loved Collision. I was, I came home from work and it was like, I kind of felt like Samoa Joe should have had a better opponent, but I mean, the main event was cooking, man. That was so good. And then I love the Acclaim too. I think that the former Bear Country, I forget their new name, they should be on TV more. They're a great team. Again, it was just an all good things. So our first topic we're going to talk about AEW is MJF and Adam Cole. So if you guys caught this week, again, they had a great segment where they were, you know, at a kids jump park, and they're playing dodgeball with some kids, and they're hitting the kids and like knocking them out. And then one girl like flips MJ off, and he nails her. It was a great segment. And then they had their in-ring segment where they challenged Aussie Open for All In, you know, for the buy-in for the Ring of Honor tag titles. And then Roderick Strong was playing it up, being comforted by the Kingdom. I guess my question for you guys is, how do you guys feel about the fact that they're booking Adam Cole and MJF on the opening pre-show of All In? And how do you guys see this feud? How do you guys see this angle playing out? And are you ready to see it end soon, or do you hope they keep extending it? And let's start with you, John. Where's our little graphic, John?
I don't have the graphic.
No.
Sorry. I kind of dropped the ball this week. I really don't like the way you book your world champion to be in, not just in a pre-show, but to be going for a mid-card type title. You're doing really an injustice on promoting the guy who should be your top star. And furthermore, I think this is where some interest will get into the play. Maybe we're going to see Adam Cole kind of find a way to deceive MJF, or give a hint that he's going to deceive MJF for the world title in that 0-hour match. So, yeah, I really don't know what they're really trying to do with this. I just hope they find a way to keep it at least a little bit entertaining, but you don't want this to go as long as like the Bloodline storyline, if you know what I mean.
No, I agree for sure. What are your thoughts, Heather?
I don't even understand why they're even trying to go after the titles, period. I mean, I guess it's just something to do. But, I mean, like, a lot of people have said, you know, that MJF is just running around here looking stupid. He's supposed to be the main champion, and while he's just out here just doing crazy shit and playing around, and while CM Punk is not the champion, and he's getting all these killer matches or whatever and just having a great time. So, I mean, I'm not understanding any of it, because, like, I don't know, MJF's supposed to be the big time heel champion and badass, and he's not looking that way. And meanwhile, not the champion is. So, you know, but Adam Cole and I don't know. I like, you know, kind of what they're doing with their storyline. It's fun, whatever, but I just don't, you know, I don't think it needs to like keep being drug out for too much longer. No.
And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I want to just say, I think there's also that possibility. Maybe we're going to see a new version of a Kingdom here. Maybe this was a plan by Adam Cole all along to have Roddy seem to be the guy that's very distraught, but have Matt Taven and who the hell's with Matt Taven? Is it Vincent?
No. Oh, how dare you? Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett. God damn it. I don't know why I got that mixed up.
Zaddy. He's a Zaddy.
Yeah. I think Mike Bennett and Matt Taven might be joining along with Adam Cole in this new version of the Kingdom, and we're going to see MJF turn full face. Who knows? There could be two different ways you can go about this. Either MJF suckered us all in from the beginning, just because, you know, it wouldn't be the first time. He suckers us in and had a plan all along, or Adam Cole is the one who's deceiving, starts a new faction, and we're going to see yet another powerful stable here in AEW.
And so, do you guys think that they should turn? Do you guys think MJF should be a face, or do you guys think he should stay a heel?
You want my wife's reaction first?
Sure.
Sarah says, I don't like this version of MJF. He needs to be an asshole. And I agree with her. That's MJF's character. He should be a scumbag asshole.
And what do you think, Heather?
I think the same thing. You know, well, as what he's doing is funny. You know, it's change the pace, see something different from him. It's not him. He's meant to be the asshole, meant to be the piece of shit. That's what he is.
And this is Heather's way of saying, I like this asshole, by the way.
Heather has a thing for Burberry. We all know that. So I'm in agreement with you. I really hope, like, to me, like, I feel like, you got Adam Cole, who came back as a red hot babyface. I really hope that they're not going to turn him heel and make MJF I fear I can see them turning MJF as a face, and then him 6 months from now not being happy with it, and Tony Khan letting him go back to being a heel because he doesn't want to be a face, just like Ricky Starks did. And now you have Adam Cole as a heel too. And so to me, I think that it would be the wrong choice. I hope they keep Adam Cole as a face. And to me, why not have Roderick Strong go with the Kingdom? That could be a natural feud for Adam Cole after this feud ends. And I do like them utilizing the Kingdom more because I feel like, again, they don't have very many managers in AEW that they're utilizing. And I would like to see Maria Kanellis more on AEW television along with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. They're both easy on the eyes, and Mike Bennett, somebody who's in recovery, and he's like a good comeback story. So I will always root for that guy. As far as the All In pre-show, the thing that I don't like, to me, is, then again, to me, when you're already a company that's being criticized as bad as AEW is, I don't think you should leave yourself up for more criticism by double booking talent on a card where you're going to have talent you're going to be leaving off the card, and the first thing people are going to do is criticize, why are these guys getting 2 matches and this guy's not on the card? So I just think that it's a bad move by Tony Khan. And because I think it's going to just open up criticism to when other people are left off the card, why they didn't get that spot and why these guys are being booked for 2 matches and that person isn't getting a match. Do you guys kind of see that point of view?
Yeah. And that's where I'm saying this is not a good look for your top guy. He shouldn't be booked in a spot where really you should be getting either your people that need more exposure or somebody who didn't get a spot on the main card. I mean, it really doesn't do your top guy any justice whatsoever, which should be the top prize in the company.
Any other thoughts on that, Heather? Going once, going twice. Okay. So the next thing, did we lose Heather?
I don't know if we
lost.
Yes,
Carlos, you're so smart. Oh, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that.
No, I'm here. I did the stupid mic wouldn't unmute.
He's going to give you the slap on X now.
Well, you should be booker for Tony Khan. Oh, thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. So the next thing I have for you guys is on the end of Collision last night. There, it's pretty custom that at the end of the after the main event, usually the talent kind of puts over the crowd. I think to try to keep them there for another hour as they tape Ring of Honor, stuff. CM Punk went full heel on Hangman Page. I was making comments about they call him Hangman because all he ever does is his toys hang on the pegs at the Walmart and the stores, and he doesn't sell anything, and he doesn't move the needle. And CM Punk is the needle mover, and he's the guy who sells merchandise and does everything else. And he just totally was talking shit about Adam Page. And so, for me, I feel like this is it has to symbolize, to me, this has to be the fact, this has to show that, okay, these guys are going to work together. And I feel like it's just CM Punk showing the smart marks, the fans who are paying attention, the fans who are online, like, be patient. You guys are going to get what you want. We're cooking it for you. And when it comes, it's going to be great. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys think we are going to be seeing the heel CM Punk and heel FTR going up against the Elite? And if so, how do you guys feel about it? We'll start with you, Heather.
You already know I don't like him. I can't stand him. He's always running his mouth.
Go ahead.
I mean, he's always running his mouth. That's the smartest shit to say. But yeah, I see, it's coming. They're probably going to have the match, and it's going to be the hell of a match that everybody wants to see. And that's, like y'all been saying, we're going to be what's good for business. I don't, like I said, I don't like him. I don't shit do. He's got a big fucking mouth. But yeah, and it needs to happen. They need to beat the shit out of each other, and then hopefully move on from that. And yeah.
And that's the bottom line, because Heather says. What are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody remembers the days of how Cowboy Bill Watts would have two talent that have personal issues deal with their problems and let them get it out. That's what Tony Khan needs to do, is have CM Punk and the Elite just let it all out, but have them let it all out at the pay-per-view or during the weekly programming, Let's get it out of their system. Let them beat the shit out of each other. Then hopefully maybe we'll finally come to an understanding. Or, you can use the Yellowstone reference where, Rip would tell someone, if you want to fight, you're going to fight me, just so, get it out of their system. Make sure we finally come to an understanding after the smoke clears. I personally would say, yes, let's see it. On a business stance, I also say we need to make sure we're all on the same page too when we all let it out. So I think it's a good move if they do decide to work with each other. I just hope it doesn't get to the really deep personal stuff like they did last year at the end of was it All Out last year?
Yeah, All Out, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody remembers that little infamous backroom crap, but just let them get it out in the ring, get it over with, and let's be done with it after that.
And again, for me, like, I'm just excited because to me, like, I made the comment before, I don't know if we was on here or in our Twitter space. To me, like, the Young Bucks and all those guys, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Hangman just re-signed their new contracts. And with that being done, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks got to keep their titles EVP. So I would hope that with them being EVPs, that then meant that they're going to be doing what's best for business. They're going to be doing business with CM Punk. I'm excited for it. I think that, as I think it's going to be good for business. And I do like these little Easter eggs, because that's what I feel like we're getting. They're kind of letting us know ahead of time. It's coming, guys. Just be patient and let it cook. And kudos to CM Punk. I think that, I am all sold for his match with Samoa Joe. I think that he's done a really good job of making Ricky Starks feel like a main event guy. So why not get everybody booked? Why not get all these other guys feeling like a main event level and bringing them up? So it gives him more people to work with in the future and getting all these guys built up before he does go full blown heel. So again, I think it's good. I don't think Tony Khan would be letting him make these comments unless there was something in the works. You guys agree with that as well?
Yeah, obviously, I think after last year and the criticism that Tony Khan got after letting CM Punk continue his time on the media scrum, I think he wouldn't let CM Punk keep getting away with it if it wasn't already planned out. And who knows, maybe that whole entire time Punk was out, they kind of made a few things clear that none of us were made aware of it, or any of the dirt sheets were made aware of it. But maybe Tony Khan finally sat him down and said, this would make great thing for TV. Let's plan on it. But for now, just be professionals a bit with each other. You're all going to be on the same team at some point. Let's just make things work out. And by the way, I think Tony Schiavone might come after you for that Easter egg thing, because I think Arn Anderson dubbed that for him in the backstage.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if you heard that episode or not.
I don't think so. But if we get that kind of attention from them, good. You did get that tag from the ad-free show, so let's keep the ball rolling. And to me, and to all the trolls that might be listening to the show, and again, I nothing against you guys, but give Tony Khan some credit. I saw a lot of the comments. Oh, he doesn't control anything on this show, and blah, blah, blah. Give the guy more credit than you're giving him. Let's let it cook. Let's trust the process. And again, I think we're going to eat very well with AEW for the next couple of years. And so I'm really excited for what's going on. With that being said, so we have All In coming up. And again, they've just broke the SummerSlam record. They're closing on 80,000 people. I guess my question for you guys is, what do you guys feel about the build for All In? And do you guys think do you think they should be treating All In like a WrestleMania or just like a special event? Like, I mean, like, and again, I think people, they want to make them feel like it's a WrestleMania, but they already have they already have the 80,000 people. To me, I'd rather see All In be like more like multi-man matches, getting to get people on the card, giving us matches we haven't seen before, and then save the single like blood feud matches for All Out. And I guess one of the rumored matches is going to be the Golden Lovers. So Kenny Omega, Ibushi, and then Hangman against Takeshita, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. So are you guys excited for that match? What's your guys' overall thoughts about the build up for All In? We also had the coffin match confirmed with Darby and Sting versus AR Fox and Swerve. How are you? And then obviously we're gonna get CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. How are you guys feeling for the buildup of All In? And do you guys think that they should just kind of be playing for the crowd more there, and we're along for the ride? What are you guys' overall thoughts about how the card's coming along and stuff like that? Start with you, Heather.
I mean, from what I've, the matches, the build up and everything, I'm guessing, Lord, I can't even talk. I'm excited for the pay-per-view. Just the matches and stuff. Okay, I'm excited for it. That's all I'm gonna say, because I cannot even talk. I'm excited for the pay-per-view. That's it.
AEW good. Okay, got it.
I'm sorry, I can't even talk. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Shit.
Do you have like a bunch of posters of John Moxley just around your room at the moment? Flustered?
With ketchup on her body, right? With ketchup as the blood. I think she found something. I think she found something for her pain. She just hasn't told us yet. She's like starting to drool on herself right now.
Well, she's having that tough decision between Dean Ambrose and John Moxley right now. So
I laugh because one of my space and one of the Twitter spaces I was on, some guys like, well, John Moxley is not a good looking guy. Me and my friend Heather beg to differ with that comment right there. We both think he's delicious. I have a word to call it dickalicious. I'm like, we think he's fine just the way he looks. So don't say that, because we think he's all that in a bag of chips. John, what's your thoughts overall about the build and what they should be doing and all that kind of good stuff? All the above.
Well, let me first answer your other question as far as should we treat All In as a WrestleMania? I think their event that they have in November, that's Revolution, right?
Yeah.
To me, Revolution should be AEW's version of WrestleMania.
Not Double or Nothing?
No, I don't think I think Double or Nothing should be more of just kind of like your Royal Rumble right there. I mean,
okay.
Really, that's when you see your Casino Battle Royal too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that should be more of the Royal Rumble there. For me, the All In should be more like your SummerSlam. And they got a good card coming up. The one that really confuses me is the coffin match. Are we building a coffin big enough for two guys, or are we going to have two separate coffins out there?
Right. I guess we'll find out.
So that one's got me very intrigued on how they're going to work that one out. And I really hope that they're not going to have Sting lose this match, because this would be Sting's first loss for the year, right?
Yeah. His first loss ever. He hasn't lost a match yet. He's undefeated. Yeah.
They better not have Sting losing a coffin match, or I'm going to be throwing shit in the fan. I'll go off like Heather on a tangent on Roman Reigns' title reign, So, but I like the fact that they're implementing I guess you can say a Texas Tornado style coffin match. I like the build up they're doing for MJF and Adam Cole, except for the 0 hour. I don't really think we should be having those guys challenge for tag team championships. I'm trying to remember the next match I had in my thoughts. I forgot. Can you remind me a couple more of the matches?
Yeah, so there's going to be the four-way match for the women's championship.
Yes.
Samoa, which again, to me, like, go ahead. You talk first.
Sorry, the women's match is the one that's kind of got me muddy, because if they were going to put the championship on Sheeta, they should have done it on this pay-per-view rather than have it go in a singles match on Dynamite, because I think that was a really big whoopsie right there on AEW's creative part. As far as sorry, what was the other match you said?
There's going to be Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. And then the other match is going to be you're going to have the rest of the Elite, the Young Bucks versus FTR. And then you're going to have the rest of the Elite. So Hangman, Ibushi, and Kenny Omega versus Konosuke, and then Juice Robinson and Jay White. And then also Chris Jericho versus Ospreay.
Yeah. Is that going to be for the IWGP? And I guess you can say United States, but
the European now? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Will Ospreay had a change to the IWGP United Kingdom Championship.
Oh, that's right. United Kingdom Championship. Yeah.
So if it's for the title, this would be an interesting thing, but I think either way, Will Ospreay still goes over Chris Jericho. As far as Samoa Joe and CM Punk, that one's going to be questionable. Are we going to have a championship on the line, or are we just doing it to cement their
choke him out?
Yeah, choke him out. Jeez, listen to this girl. She's getting more violent as we get.
Rip his head off and throw it in the crowd.
Yeah, as far as Samoa Joe and CM Punk, this is going to be very interesting because we all know Joe's pissed off with losing to a roll-up, which, in a way, Joe knows that's not a favorite finishing thing for most of our so-called wrestling experts. I don't mind a roll-up here and there. I just don't like it utilized very often, which for quite some time it was used quite heavily. I think this one we need more of a definitive finish. I don't care whose finish it is. Just don't use the roll up or something really crappy to end the match, like a double count out or a double disqualification. Find a way to
choke his ass out.
Jesus. I think we're gonna have to let Heather let her true emotions come out now.
Well, I think we talked about like if you talked about maybe getting her a Dom shirt. I think we need to get her if they ever make like a CM Punk wrestling buddy and like a Roman Reigns one, so she can just wrestle with them and fucking up and figure fours and shit.
Or maybe we can have Christine, on the X app, Shining Polaris. Maybe she can make her like
a Yarn Bucks, yeah,
a Yarn Buck, but only a CM Punk version of the Yarn Buck.
Yeah.
Treat it like a damn it doll and just beat that thing 1,000 times.
Cook it in her microwave and shit like that. Run it over with her car, like her little voodoo doll. See if it works.
We'll see how many kids she goes through. But yeah, that's as much as I have as far as the all-in card.
And for me, like I think something like and something that like when I first would watch AEW and I would appreciate this. And again, and I think that this is something that WWE needs to really do more. Is like, if in case you don't understand this, AEW books for the crowd that's there live, and I think that's what you got to remember. So they book for the crowd that's there, and then the natural excitement and the emotion that crowd's feeling comes off on TV, and it just makes the product all around better product to watch. So I think fans need to realize that. And I agree with John. Like this is not their WrestleMania. This is a special event. To me, like if these fans on the UK, this might be the only chance they get to see AEW for the next couple years or this year. Like for me, like I want to see as many multi-man matches as possible. I wouldn't even mind seeing like a casino battle royal where the winner gets a shot at the All Atlantic or the international title on All Out. The same for the women. Why not do the same for the women? Where the woman gets to challenge Chris Statlander for the TBS title All Out. To me, like let these wrestlers, let us many of the talent that have been there, that have really given their blood, sweat, and tears for this company, let as many of them get on the card, and for me, like, build it up. So I'm all for this. You have another pay-per-view coming up, All Out, where you can do those single match blood feuds. I think they're doing a really good job because they're giving us enough single matches to really make it cook and make you care. But multi-man matches, I do have one question for you guys, because I think the match, excuse me, I think the match is going to be BCC versus Best Friends versus the Death Triangle. I think it's going to be a 3-man, I don't know, maybe, Anarchy in the Arena or whatever. Who do you guys think they can put in to replace Pac in that scenario? Not everybody at one time.
Yeah, I'm a little puzzled on that one.
Because I think that's the direction they're going with this.
Heather would probably have a better idea than I would right now.
Heather's drawing a freaking blank.
Well, I guess the first question.
I'll throw the lifeline out and go. How would you guys feel about Eddie Kingston joining them?
We mentioned this in was it Space or the episode?
I think it was Space.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only two people that would make sense out of this: have Commander or Eddie Kingston. The problem is we have Eddie Kingston at New Japan participating in the G1 and also being their strong champion, which he made a mention in a promo that he'd be happy to defend it on Dynamite, Collision, or Rampage. That would be awesome to see that. So there could be a good possibility we would see Eddie Kingston, but I wouldn't doubt if we see Commander step in place either.
I would rather see Eddie Kingston. I like him working with John Moxley and stuff. Yeah.
Well, and see, there's also that rumor. I don't know if either you two saw this. There's possible chance and get this as a rumor before all you tards come onto my DMs. Sorry for that little bit of wording, but before any of you come into my DMs, do not come at me saying, "Oh, that's not going to happen." It's just a rumor that John Moxley might turn on the Blackpool Combat Club, joining forces with Eddie Kingston. I don't really see that happening. I see it more Moxley turns his back on Kingston, but who knows?
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I think go ahead, Heather. She's like, no.
What did you say? You said John Moxley gonna turn on.
You mentioned that name. She wakes up. What?
Yeah, there was a rumor I can't remember who it was that posted it. There was a possibility John Moxley might turn on the Blackpool Combat Club.
No.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening. One being the fact that they just barely turned them all heel. I just don't see him turning his back on the club to go rejoin forces with Eddie Kingston. I think it'd be the other way around.
I hope, honestly, I want to see. To me, if I had my way, I'd have another team added to that, and that team would be Eddie Kingston with the returning Santana and Ortiz. That's what I would love to see.
Yes, Proud and Powerful. Oh man,
with Eddie Kingston together again, and like you said, then throw Commander in there with those guys, because I rather see Eddie come back with Pride and Powerful, and that could be another feud. That could be the feud for the Blackpool Combat Club too. So now that with that all in, let's move to All Out. So with All Out, I guess the card's starting to build. So we officially have now because Luchasaurus beat the #1 contender Brock Anderson yesterday on Saturday on Collision for
Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. That was not established #1 contender. No, come on.
Well, I mean, he got a title shot, looking like he'd been at the Dunkin' Donuts for the last 3 months.
Just reminiscence of his old man there,
Jesus, I mean, his body, it is what it is, But so Luchasaurus and our Darby's official for All Out, and then we're gonna be getting Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs, which honestly, right there, that's enough for me. How do you guys feel about those two matches coming in All Out? And what other kind of matches are you guys looking forward to for All Out? Like, do you want to see Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the international title? I feel like Moxley doesn't need that title. And then who do you want to see fighting MJF? Is it going to be CM Punk? What do you guys want to see for All Out card? And what do you guys think about the build so far that we're starting to see for it? Heather?
Which match was on that? You said Darby Allin and
Luchasaurus for the TNT title, and then we're gonna have Powerhouse Hobbs against Miro. And I guess, like, what other matches do you guys want to see, and what do you think about those matches so far? Do you think they should just be building into the card more, or do you think they should just announce it all like a week ahead of time?
Well, okay, the Luchasaurus and Darby Allin match, like, okay, Christian Cage says that's his title. Because like I want Luchasaurus to like knock the hell out of Christian Cage and be like, bitch, that's my title. Right. I want that to happen. But yeah, because like Christian is just walking around with the title holding it and like, okay, it's Luchasaurus's title. But yeah, Darby and Luchasaurus, like, you know, Christian's gonna try to get involved in it somehow, you know, and I don't know. I love Darby, and yeah, he's always putting it all out there and everything. But I just know Christian's going to get involved, and it's going to be some bullshit, because Christian thinks it's his title anyway. So I don't know how I feel about that match. But Powerhouse Hobbs and you said who now?
And then Power against Miro.
Powerhouse Miro, yeah. Hopefully Miro can win in that match, because I you know, they're building him coming back, you know, and try to hopefully building him up, and hopefully he'll get a push. So, you know, hopefully he'll win that match, and it'll maybe give him a little bit of a push and get him going, you know. And but like the other matches, like, kind of, I don't think they should like just like announce them like all at once, or they can do like they're doing, like build up to them, like get you invested into them, like they're doing, you know, is the only thing I can say. I don't want you just them. I was like,
no, and I think that's why it'd be good to do multi-man matches. Like, that's why I think it'd be good. Like, if you do Kenny and Hangman and Ibushi against you know, against Ken, against you know, Juice and Jay White, and then, you know, Konosuke, I think that's a good way to be like, okay, you're getting this match on All In, then at All Out, you're gonna get Kenny versus Konosuke 1-on-1. I think if you're doing the multi-man matches that feed into the single matches, it would do a good build for both pay-per-views, and I think they would complement each other really, really well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that would be a good way to go. Because, you know, like I said, I want the build for the matches. I want, you know, to get to be invested into them. You know, I don't want you to just all of a sudden just pop up, well, this match is going to happen. You know, I like to be able to, you know, to go into it and get like you said, you know, build it, be invested in it, and it happen. Not just, oh, well, here we're having this match. You know, I don't like it like that.
And especially for your second biggest pay-per-view of the year too, it shouldn't feel like that. Do you want? I have a question for you, because Miss Jon Moxley here. Do you want to see him with the international title, or do you think he's above that?
I think he's above that.
I do too. I agree. John, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say I'm very conflicted with the whole Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. Here we got two guys that I feel AEW has done a very poor job of utilizing. Both men really should be on your cards at least weekly, if not every other week. Both these guys, former TNT champions, and to me, they didn't get the proper runs that they truly deserved. I mean, especially when you hot potato between Wardlow and every other damn person on the roster. Miro, who we haven't seen for months, and now we've seen almost weekly on Collision, he's finally starting to get more TV time, but the problem is we're putting two guys on who should be building momentum, and eventually one of their momentum's going to drop down on whoever loses. I hope it doesn't hurt the person that loses too much, but we don't know what the plan is for either man either, because we keep getting teased that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to walk out on, I guess, that little faction that is
QTV.
mimicking.
Well,
Yeah,
did you see
QTV.
did you see yesterday's show?
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm kind of a little conflicted with it, with the way that promo ended. Um, I just don't like how they built that match. I don't think really you're doing Hobbs any justice with the tease of him walking away, but then he has his cronies come and help him attack Miro. There's just, to me, whoever walks out, I don't see they gain anything, because they, again, not WWE, but AEW's creative has just not utilized these two big guys right. Are we in for a good match? Possibly. We just hope they have something in plan for the build after that match. As far as the AEW International Championship, this is kind of like how I view WWE has somebody who held the World Heavyweight Championship, but then you knock them down by having them win either the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship. To me, if you were on the level where you won the World Championship, you should not be in contendership for the mid-card title. It just, to me, it kind of devalues the talent's level of skill right there. One thing I would definitely like to see, though, for this all-out card is more of the utilizing of Ring of Honor talent. The problem is with Ring of Honor, we only see it on Ring of Honor Network or when it actually hits the pay-per-view. I would love to see that Ring of Honor World Championship defended. There hasn't been any plans of that for either of these pay-per-views, correct?
Correct.
So why the hell don't we have Claudio defending the Ring of Honor World Championship? That, I'm scratching my head on this one. You got two back-to-back pay-per-views 1 week apart, and we're not having that title showcased. Come on, get that title out there. For me, John Moxley shouldn't be the guy challenging Orange Cassidy either for that AEW International Championship. And I apologize, I'm going out of order here. To me, I know Wheeler Yuta's already challenged Orange Cassidy, but that should be the guy going for that championship right now.
Could you see Orange Cassidy? I mean, they're fighting this Wednesday. Could you see Wheeler Yuta dethroning him?
No, because to me that should have been on the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
And then that's where I would have booked Wheeler Yuta to go over and finally dethrone Orange Cassidy, to be honest. And really, I don't have much more thoughts. I mean, it's, to me, they just need, for me, if they really want to get that all out going, they need to build right immediately as they're doing the all-in pay-per-view. Maybe have kind of like treat it like the Backlash or WrestleMania Backlash.
And again, to me, I think I'm excited to see how it keeps going, but that's why I said I think the multi-man matches are a good idea with the single matches coming out of those multi-man matches. I'm with you guys. I don't want to see John Moxley win that title from Orange Cassidy. I think it's a bad idea. And again, for me, I wouldn't mind seeing this all out kind of be like a Night of Champions where you literally just see all the titles defended plus a few other single matches sprinkled in between. And as far as Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro go, I feel like this Cody and Brock feud was in WWE is a good blueprint for how these feuds should go. Like I wouldn't mind. I want to see like a 2 out of 3 matches out of these guys, 3 matches out of these guys, I should say. I would like to see Hobbs taking the first one, Miro taking the second one, then Hobbs eventually getting the third one, because I think that would protect Miro by and also getting Hobbs over. And for me, Miro didn't want to do business with that they wanted a few months back and sat at home. So to me, like I think at this point you just kind of keep Miro happy, keeping him as an upper mid-carder, but I definitely think you should just try to use him to elevate Hobbs, and because I think Hobbs is more of a future world champion for them instead of Miro, and that's at least my opinion on that. Do you guys have any other thoughts about that before we close out?
No.
I just hope that we see a really great card out of All In and hopefully a great follow up with All Out. Let's make these two count because not very often you get to see back to back pay per views from the same organization. So play it well, AEW. Get it going.
Yes, please. Take advantage of this. You're gonna have all the eyes of the world on you. Hit a home run. And again, I'm looking forward to this as well. And in closing, I just want to invite everyone. If you're listening to this tomorrow night at 7:00, right after Dynamite, I'll be hosting a Twitter space talking about AEW Dynamite, and we can talk about these topics a little further. If there's anything we talked about that might have intrigued you, we could definitely continue the conversation over there. Did you guys have any shout outs to give out today, Heather?
No, I don't.
All right. Before John gives his closing ones, I just want to give a shout out to our other partners, Bryan the Hype, Ballard, and Will. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope to have you guys back. Also, just a shout out to Ted the Hillbilly Heel. Thank you for always just your content. One of my favorite podcasts out there. Also, we laugh, we live, we learn, we laugh. Austin Boyer as well. All our other friends on Distinguished Gentlemen, all our other friends on Good Pods. And just everyone who interacts with us on Twitter, thank you guys for making it an enjoyable place for us and a positive mental health environment for us. We appreciate all you guys. And I'll let John take it over from here.
Now, before I go into the closing credits on your X space, is that 7:00 your time or?
So 7:00 Pacific, 10:00 Eastern. The best way to put it would be we'll be on after Dynamite's over. Just join us as soon as AEW Dynamite's over.
All right. Sorry, I just want to make sure we clarify that for our ex-fellow
Making
users.
me look bad, making the host look bad. I see how it is.
No, I just know how time zones work. So
10 p.m. Eastern, 7:00 Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. How's that? There you go.
That works. But big shout out to everybody at the Saged Up Network for helping tweet out our stuff and getting us noticed. Thank you to everyone who shows your support. Big thank you to Fen in the Van. Is This a Bad Take podcast? Two Dudes Sports News, 1420 Sports Bar podcast. Visit Vegas Places by Coyle. And also want to give a shout out to Ted the Hillbilly Hill as well. He's done an awesome job, and we're going to hopefully do some things with him here in the near future. So, and I also will be getting some clips to Ted to advertise our show a little more, but help him out as well. So, without any further ado, a big thank you to StreamYard and Spotify for podcasters on becoming our platform and home to creating and hosting the latest episodes of Sunday Takedown and Tuesday Night Chaos. They have made it possible to listen to our show on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and much more. And if you happen to like our show, we would appreciate a 5-star review, and if possible, leave us a review for us to read on the air for our future recordings. And also feel free to go to our website, www.wrestlingfansinsight.com, and subscribe and get notified of our latest releases. You'll also be able to find links to our show to your favorite audio platform. You can also interact with us on our Facebook group, The Fans of Pro Wrestling, or on the X app. You can find me at WF Insight Podcast. Heather?
It's at BamaGirl _4 EVA. BamaGirl forever.
And?
Roll Tide, bitches.
She didn't say that. She didn't say in the last one. Man, we gotta go back and re-record that.
No do-overs. Carlos?
At CCLOS77, and then at Conquer the No, and then also on Instagram at Rainbow Goodness _.
All right.
Acknowledge me.
And we also have the mental welfare space being hosted by Heather and Obey Jess on the X app on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to go in and have open discussion if you had a bad day or what you could possibly do to help with dealing with mental health. And we'll be back again. Well, I won't be back, but the team will be back again Sunday, August 20th for Sunday Takedown. We'll be back. I already said that. That's all, folks. For Heather, Carlos, and myself, we will catch you all later. Have a great week and be awesome to each other.